Oh, probably because I'm starting so late. So, you know me, I love my beige. Actually, let me grab the official beige from my website. So I'll take my eyedropper tool, copy this. Now, stream's having a seizure. My bad, I'm sorry guys. Maybe my Wi-Fi isn't too good right now. I hope this is the right music for YouTube now. Yes, I made sure to use Poster Shop live now. A little bit laggy sometimes. Yeah, sorry about that. There's nothing really I can do. My Wi-Fi is pretty terrible up here. So, so this is obviously the most boring idea, and I will only use this if all else fails, which is highly likely. Display medium, display, we want to go with what? And the good part about that one was I had a pretty good idea what I wanted to have before I started off, which I don't have now, and you can see the absolutely ugly results. So I'm probably not going to use that. Okay, well, interesting. We make a new art. REZTOKIA Poster Shop live now. Now I have an idea. I had an idea of doing the same thing I did with my Patreon promotion. I don't know if you guys ever witnessed that, but a couple months back I wanted to start a Patreon. It never ended up working out, but I used this image here and that's an idea. Obviously it's a bit weird. So set this to darken. Why does this not work? Luminosity. There we go. So now we kind of have something that is a bit more homogeneous. Crop out this rim. Okay. Now we want some text. Buy my posters or I'll send Furious George. I'm desperate at this point. Obviously everything looks better. We add a bit of fine detail typography. Wait. So, just temporarily to get a feel for the layout. Buy my posters. Oh, now I'm gonna spell furious wrong. So, to the 16 people in the chat, how's it going? It's evening here, where I'm from, Hamburg, Germany. Where are you guys joining from? Or I'll send Furious George. Maybe this is too big, yep. I've already done something very similar to this, but the post is no longer live, so joining from India, nice. Nils from Düsseldorf, VR Damien from Los Angeles, Max from Leipzig, and Sam Henry from Florida. Nice. Turkey. Great stuff. So Dominican Republic. Cool. Always great to see how international my audience is. So I'm gonna look semi-decent. Maybe I want this to be just the same level of hierarchy and I'll ditch the symmetry completely. REZTOKIA is Mr. Worldwide, yeah. Although I think the largest portion of my audience is from the US. I think it's like 8% or something. Romania. But it seems like we have a lot of nationalities in the chat right now. Go some lorem ipsum for now. So right now, obviously, this is utter and complete garbage. I suppose it's kind of because I am. And that reel got like 3 million views. So now 3 million people know that I can't spell. So just testing the waters here. Is this something worth pursuing? Obviously, design-wise, it's pretty lackluster. Nothing innovative, nothing creative. So I might want to try coming up with a better idea. Okay. Buy my posters, or I'll send Furious George. Make that the same size. Okay, so I'll entertain it as an idea, but I definitely want to knock out some more concepts. The question is, which ones? What always helps, obviously, is Pinterest. Right now my home feed is pretty weird because I've been doing a lot of client projects where I have to mood board some things, and that means that I have to save a bunch of stuff that I normally wouldn't save, but it seems to be fine. I remember you mentioning somewhere that you once opened an Instagram account and only got 200 followers or so, and then you opened your current account. What do you think was the difference? Ooh, difficult. I think it was mainly, I would say, consistency. Because I mean, we can have a look at this as well. My old account was philipperempel.design. No, .design. Am I not able to spell my name? Oh yeah, I am not. So, and how old are you? I'm 16. So this account, I mean, first of all, I was a much worse designer. This was like my second logo ever, so it's clearly not very good design-wise. And then they're just logos, which, if presented like this on a white surface, just they're pretty boring and don't tend to get a lot of engagement. And then even when I started kind of posting posters and things, it was in the time where Instagram had almost completely transitioned to boosting reels instead of posts. And I had no reels at all, I think. Or some absolutely terrible ones. I don't even remember these. Hang on, I have to look at them. Oh yeah, okay, so my YouTube intro. Then some kind of weird before and after shot. Like, the main difference from this account to that account, I would say, is consistency. Because I started posting almost weekly on this account, and then I really started to post a lot of reels. And obviously, if you post a good reel, Instagram will push that extremely far. And I just got lucky a couple times, you know, with the reels. And I think that combined with quality content and consistency makes the difference here. Anyway, back to browsing Pinterest. I'm looking for design ideas, so I might actually try this new thing called Save It, which is like a Pinterest for designers. Which has a bunch of design stuff. Which is good, not necessarily to copy things, but to get that spark for how something could look. Either this, or I have an idea for a different style, which is we grab one of these mock-ups I made. I have the full resolution version somewhere, but for now this will do. And then we maybe play around with some overlays to get it a bit darker. Yeah, man, no problem. Please save this live. Yeah, I will. Unless YouTube claims it again because of copyright music, but it shouldn't happen, so you'll be able to watch it back. Darken, multiply. There we go. Make it a bit less saturated. So now we can play around with the same kind of general idea, but with an image background and kind of overlaid typography, which might look really nice here. Maybe say poster shop. It's gonna be interesting to see how we're gonna manage a decent contrast here. Try making this medium. Nah. Text. If you don't know what this font is, it is my absolute favorite font. It is, why am I adding weight? It's Neue Haas Grotesque, which is basically it's a version of Helvetica, but adjusted for modern applications and free with Adobe Creative Cloud. I would highly recommend it. So this has decent weight while not looking clunky. Interesting. Still contrast is still lackluster here. So this is just to see if this might be, I mean, this would be much more descriptive because this poster, for instance, is one of my most viewed ones, and a lot of people will probably recognize it. And also you can immediately see that it is a print because of the mock-up, and then you have the poster shop. So with the goals in mind, this would probably be one of the most functional ones. Oh. Live now. Actually, I might put these in the same line and dial down size here to get this into one line. Maybe actually two lines. And then have the domain down here, which is obviously going to be the main important information for people to know where to buy them. In this case, we might as well ditch the www. Perfect. Mildly aesthetic, lackluster contrast, but as an idea, I suppose it's pretty cool. I suppose it's kind of similar to, hang on, let me find this. Here. If you don't know this guy, you should definitely give him a follow. He's an excellent designer. And if we look at his Behance projects. Oh, can't find that link. Brilliant. Anyway. Christ's sake, there we go. He has this really cool project where he has this kind of overlay poster that goes over other posters here, this one, and is like a place your design here, and then it's in front of other things. Now this idea, first of all, is insane, and it's so well executed, so that may be something similar in this scenario. Do I go to school? Yes, I do go to school. Unfortunately, I must add. Yeah, German school system is super strict, so there's no backing out of it at anywhere, at any place. So I'm in school from 8 to 3 o'clock every single day. So that's definitely an idea. You can obviously try and make a mock-up that is just naturally darker, so that like the background is darker, so that this white typography will pop more. You can obviously do that in the edits as well. I might do that. Let's go for another quick browse. We're 19 people now. Hello, everybody who's new. We're designing a poster for my poster shop launch. Let's see if I can't find something that sparks something. Helvetica has my heart. Hey, Damien. How's it going, man? I recognize you. Okay, so not a lot. That's the problem with Save It. I don't think the feed gets adjusted to your taste. At least I haven't saved enough to test it, but it doesn't seem like it, which is obviously unfortunate. I mean, alternatively, you can do something super boring. Like just having a beige background. And then poster shop live now, and then you have like the posters I've made just flash through in the middle, kind of have an animated GIF poster. I mean, it's boring, but I suppose it's the most effective because you see all of the posters. And you can also see all the information with a lot of contrast. Poster shop live now. I mean, there are ways to make this aesthetic with a bunch of textures and overlays and effects, but that's kind of a cheat code and place. Actually downloaded these from my website the other day. So let's take some kind of stand-in. How about this? Perfect. Yeah, I mean, nah, this is just too boring for me. Come on, there we go. Interesting. So far, I'm definitely enjoying this mock-up version the most. But like I say, I also have an alternative, which is just another poster, which actually would be preferable. Because, yeah, then I have another poster to sell on my poster shop. But so far, I have not had this spark yet. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to go full circle. Let's try something completely new. Let's see if I don't have something. Nope. Unfortunately not. So back to the browse. This is probably so thrilling to watch. Some dude scrolling his Pinterest. Okay. Yeah, stuff like this. I mean, this will always get me. But I've kind of done stuff like that so often now. It also loses its flair. Damn, that's very, very cool. Okay, what do I do? Poster Shop live now. Let me just quickly try this with the other mockup, see how it goes. This is probably one of my favorite posters in this mockup, the most recent one on my Instagram account. No, I actually realized the other day that I personally wouldn't want to hang up any of my posters on my own wall. Not because I don't like them or because I think they're bad, but just doesn't match my personal, I guess, room decoration style. So now I always think about, okay, what would I hang on my wall? And this here would definitely be one of them. So I already like this a bit better. So you got the pop of the white a bit more. Excuse me. So guys, if you have any suggestions, anything at this point, I will take anything and everything. Actually, hang on, I have a file that an image that I might be able to use perfectly. In this case, if we were to use this design, first I probably want to match these. I think they might already be, yes they are. Okay, then REZTOKIA.com. Let's move that. Live now, then I do on my website design occasionally use this arrow. I don't know if I can copy this. I can. So what if I use this as kind of a call to action element? Okay, that definitely adds a bit of visual interest. Live now. So now to the images that I had. I'm currently writing my Abitur. Ah, scheiße, Nils. Ich fühle deinen Schmerz. Aber zumindest bist du durch, ne? Ich hab noch 2 Jahre vor mir. What happened with the last live? Yeah, copyright music, man. My mistake. But this time it's free. Cheers, man. Love your work. Do you have availability in the next couple of months for brand identity commission with startups? In the next couple of months, probably yes. At the moment, I'm engaged in another client project, so my commissions are still closed, but I will let you all know once they open up again. Max, ich habe letztes Jahr Abi geschrieben. Mann, ich will auch. Es nervt mich so, ne? Jeden Tag 6 Stunden in die Tonne treten. Oder mehr, es sind ja irgendwie 7 oder so. So my goal, hang on, let me actually import these pictures real quick. There they are. So these are some images of my posters or the sample prints that I purchased. So this could definitely be something I could use. So right now I'm actually making a mask, which is a weird tactic. But yeah, you can make vector masks in Illustrator as well. So Max, wie war denn der Schnitt, sag mal? Ist gut abgeschnitten oder ist verkackt? Zwei sechs, ja, passt. Man will sich das Leben ja nicht zur Hölle machen, ne? Meine Schwester schreibt gerade Abi. Die lernt irgendwie 8 Stunden am Tag. Könnte ich nie machen. Sorry for the German guys, I'm just talking with Max here in the chat about his final exams. Okay, finally, we're done with the vector mask. Boom, there we go. Oof, so we probably have to do some heavy photoshopping to make this look at home. Mittwoch Matabi. Oh nein. Okay, so maybe this is something. Definitely need a lot of photoshopping before this looks good. But then I'm finally done. Muss man nicht noch mündliche machen? Ich meine, ich glaube, das ist irgendwie im Juni oder so, ne? How are you doing, Philip? By the way, I love your stuff, man. You are literally my inspiration. Keep going. Thank you very much. I'm happy to hear that. I am doing great. Okay, actually, that was accidental, and this actually looks really cool with that overlaying over the text like that. And with some heavy photoshopping, making these posters look natural. It definitely could be a viable idea. With this, I don't think there's anything I can do here. I mean, maybe. Again, it would require a lot of photoshopping. Hi from Ukraine. Hey Bennett, how's it going? Exactly, but not that strenuous, yeah. The verbal exams, is that what they're called? Why does that look so weird? Okay, you know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm quickly gonna try and Photoshop this into something worthwhile. For that, I have to close some of this stuff. Oh my goodness. My mock-ups. Yeah. So, let's try this. You would love to know how I achieved the Oppenheimer text effect. It is much, much more simple than it looks. You grab a block of text. You make any... That's the wrong tool. You make any shape you want. You select the shape, go to Object. Then text wrap, make. And there you go. Let me try and get a better version. So yeah, it's super simple. You get a text block, and then you get any shape, and it text wraps, right? Basically creating this effect. Right now this is inverted, So it's kind of not doing that. But yeah, so then if you set this to transparent, you see that the text wraps around that shape, and then just make the shape whatever you want. In my case, it was the atom bomb thing, and you got it. Could I send you a link to the angel statue from the poster? Let me see if I can't share that into the chat. I don't know if I have it saved. It'll be tough right now, but I think it's super easy to find on Pinterest. Angel statue. Yeah, so this is the one. Not the exact image, but quite sure it was this. Or this one here, hang on. Let me find the exact one. Yeah, you get the point. There's a bunch of options here if you want to have a look. So back to this, back to Photoshop, and back to this. I doubt very highly that any Photoshop selection method would work with such a complex shape. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. And we're back here again. I'm also gonna probably have to upscale these images somehow, or add a shit ton of grain to make this look proper. Well, this is fascinating to watch, I bet. Yay, we're done. We'll make a selection. There we go. Now I probably have to duplicate this, convert it to a smart object, then free transform. To get this to be skewed properly. That looks okay. So to cross-reference the shadows, we have a clear light source coming from the right. So I will have to create solid color, grab the same mask. Actually, I'll duplicate this, clip the solid color to that, like this. I'll make this a smart object. Now we can skew this and make it into a shadowish shape. Then obviously filter. Come on. Filter blur. Gaussian blur. And then we'll add some kind of insane amount. Actually, I'm gonna have to do this with field blur. Field blur. Where was it? Blurry gallery. Here we go. I'm going to set one blur point here where the maximum amount has to be. Make a couple of these. Ralph11, hey, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. So I'm just trying to Photoshop these posters to make them look like they're actually somewhere and not nowhere. Obviously right now this looks like shit until we drop the opacity just a bit. Wow, it still looks like shit. Try this. Bit better. I think it's just a bit too much actually. We want a bit of the harsh shadows to still be visible. And kind of like this. But then we stretch this. And then move it back. Let me mask this. Perfect. See how that compares. Okay. So it turns out the shadow Much more like, yeah, there we go, that's already better. Much better. Still looks fake. But we'll make it work. That looks okay. Maybe I want to... Looks better. Looks nice, so far so good, thank you. Yeah, we're trying to make a poster announcing my poster shop going live. So this is... I'm trying to make an asset for this poster right now. So let's try making this a solid color in the background. What are you trying to achieve though? I'm trying to make this kind of layout with the posters, but I want it to look like the posters are real and kind of lying on top of the text. So I'm trying to replicate the shadow so that I have a clean white background to work with. So let's try a solid color. Neil still likes the monkey poster. Yeah, I guess. It's always going to be an option. Buy my poster so I'll send Furious George. I'll definitely fall back onto this if this fails. So let's finally get to making this bloody solid color. So like this, slightly beige, slightly gray, and want to add a slight gradient in the direction of the light. So I'll select the gradient tool, and I'll make the color a nice brown. And this color, just a bright beige. Hit OK. Nice and subtle. Obviously that's not subtle, but this is. Now to make something look homogeneous, Sam Henry also likes the monkey poster. Ralph 11 is iconic. So does that mean you were following my account when I wanted to start a Patreon? Because only very few people actually have seen the monkey poster. So what I was going to do I animate posters as well? Yes, occasionally, but the animations are extremely simple. Filter, camera raw filter. Let's try and make this look like it is something. Actually, before I do this, let me add some texture to the background. Paper texture is my favorite paper texture. Perfect. Now, make sure this doesn't change. Contrast. I mean the color, not the bloody contrast. Soft light, we only want this to be very subtle. I don't think this does anything though, so yeah. Darken. That'll do. subtle is good. Control Alt Shift, Control Alt E. Nope. Shift, Control Alt E. There we go. The shadow looks a bit harsh. Yeah. Wenn du jetzt erst 16 bist, wann hast du angefangen, dich mit Design zu beschäftigen? Translated to English, that means if you're 60 now, when did you start doing design? The answer is when I was 12, roughly. I think I just turned 13 around the time I started doing it as a hobby. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that would have been about, so around 3.5 years now. So, shadows. Okay, if the shadow's harsh. The problem with the shadows is I probably have to hook them up to a gradient to make them look properly realistic. So let's actually grab a gradient. Something like this. But we want to have this be black. Okay. Bit more softness. Make sure the angle is right. Like this. Why does it make it lighter? What the heck? Looks better though, I guess. Oh, hang on, I probably know why. To redo the gradient. It's because my other end is white. That needs to be black as well. Let's just create a standard gradient and then we'll position this to be perfect. And now it doesn't do anything. Come on, what's going on here? Did you buy the paper texture? No. You can get incredible free paper textures. I would recommend going to Unsplash or something. Oh, it's probably because of the blur gallery. I'll just grab the same thing. Brilliant. Duplicate this. Trash the filters. Still doesn't. What is going on? I don't get this. Let's try darken. Nope, nothing. Weird. Anyway, seems like the gradient doesn't want to work. We'll just take this down. Bit less harsh. Oh, damn. Max also started designing at 13. Well, good for you, mate. Yeah, that looks better, I think. Control Alt Shift E. I don't want to go too beige with this one. So actually gonna brighten the exposure. Difficult. Maybe just boost the highlights, drop the exposures, boost the whites. Yeah. Contrast. Just a tad. Slightly desaturated. Oh, and here's me making it beige again. My resolution lasted long. Okay. It's pretty decent. But there are things that can make it better. For instance, thank you, man. See you next time, I guess. Infrared spec. Hope your Blender project goes well. Thank you very much, Sam Harry. I don't know. I don't think I would watch myself work. I feel like it would be kind of boring, but I often put streams on in the background just to have somebody work with me. And that helps sometimes. So right now, I think highlights are a bit too blown out. I'm gonna go into the curve and bring down the very tip. Yes, that's better. Just slightly raise it overall. Then go back into basic and drop the contrast some more. And now we have to add the obligatory grain to hide the terrible quality of this picture. Just enough. I'm also gonna just a bit more warmth. Not too much. Okay, so far so good. Oh my goodness. You gotta be joking me. It wasn't a smart object. So let's do that all again. But this time we know what we did. So 4, 3. Minus, minus, up. Saturation down. Curve. Drop the tip. Drop the mids. Raise the highlights. Color grading. Oranges all around. Super subtle. Balance blending. Whites up. Clarity. Yeah, keep that at 0. And effects, grain. A lot of grain. Great. Okay, so this is looking a bit better. Fairly realistic, I say. Good enough to start off. Now we can individually apply this camera raw filter to the separate assets. We can make this one cohesive background. I can hide this. We have basically the same thing, but now the magic happens. I'll do a quick test and see if this design has potential. You can simply copy this and under our global asset, paste it in. Quick adjustment. Make this just a tad bit smaller. Maybe even give it a bit of an angle. Have you thought about where you want to work? For example, I want to work in Pixar. Yeah, I have. I want to work for myself, actually. I don't know, I've never been attracted by working for somebody. My goal is to live off my own businesses. More angle. Okay, this is actually super cool. So far, I'm definitely enjoying this. I kind of want to make it a bit brighter. In the background like this, and then the text, which is obviously not final, is going to be multiply and get some kind of slightly decreased opacity. Probably the same camera raw filter as well, just to add the grain. Perfect. Yeah. So, this is an idea. What do you guys think? Should we go through this? I think it's definitely the most creative idea so far. Obviously, visually pleasing, aesthetic is subjective, and, well, this poster is not really that, so far. Psycho, how's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. We are currently trying to design a poster shop live now announcement poster for my shop. Neil says looks great. Sam says solid. Yes, this one looks awesome. Okay, sounds good. Then I would say we go into the finalization process, which is going to take the most time out of all. So let's make a new artboard and start. Whoa. Working on the grid. So typographically, I think there's definitely room for improvement, because so far this layout is super basic. And I've done something very similar, as a matter of fact. with my... Hang on. Nah. Wait. I'm sorry. This poster. Okay. I thought for 1 second. This is a close-up shot of a poster from Instagram. I just want to show this real quick. And in the process of designing last week's poster. Okay, it's not that similar. Never mind. Okay, enough of getting distracted. I wanted to look at... Yeah. I mean, the typographical layout is pretty similar, right? 3 bottom columns, some capitalized sans serif text, and some details at the top. I kind of want to do something different. And yeah, so let's try and figure out some interesting grids here. Obviously, I have to display the relevant information as large as possible. So probably won't be a lot I can do about these headings. If you look at this, probably be at a bit of an angle. And let's face it, we don't need this much text, right? Let's import the copy we actually need. I'll quickly source this from my website. I have this wonderful heading, which is 1 poster a week makes you a geek. That is definitely something I might add to the poster. One poster a week makes you a geek. Lovely. So technically this is all the copy we need. And then I suppose we can add some additional information. Just playing around here trying to figure out free international shipping. No, free worldwide. Free worldwide shipping. For now, let's actually make it this size. All caps. And I also have some super nice quality posters in my shop. 100 189 GSM high quality thick paper. So 189 GSM premium matte paper. We're on display here. We want to be Neue Haas. Grotesque text. Same here, actually. Beautiful. That's the motto for the rest of the year. Yeah, 1 poster a week. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do since 2023 actually, and I have not missed a single Friday yet, a single week. That's why I'm kind of stressing out this evening, because I have to design a poster for tomorrow morning. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely. So now that we have all the relevant information, this is all the copy that needs to go onto the website, onto the poster. And then okay guys, I don't know if you can hear me. I tried restarting OBS, but it still seems like the quality is terrible. Or looks like we maybe even be updated now. Okay, we're back. Let's go. Yes. Okay. So, I don't know how much you guys missed. Did you guys see me make the angel? I think Damien said no, right? So yeah, let's run through it again. We'll choose a file. In this case, I will grab the angel. Yeah, so then you will select the amount of characters you want. This website is called text-image.com. Select the ASCII version. And then select, depending on your image, select invert and then extra contrast. And then hit convert. In this case, I switched the text color and the background color so you can immediately see the image. And yeah, it'll produce your image. Now, several things that you have to do if you want to use this kind of stuff in Illustrator. For one, you have to use the same font, which is white bar. And then you can use this in any program, as long as you use the same font. Anyway, jumping back to where we left off with this. I hope it's not lagging anymore. The font is Consolas. Yeah, Consolas, but with a C. There you go. I hope everybody got it now. Now, I was just in the process of whipping up a little grid here. So let's keep doing that. So basically all I have now are margins on the sides and some detail text in the top corners. I'm gonna play around with, maybe make that a bit bigger. I'm sorry it's lagging so much at your end, Damien. It's okay. I mean, the stream will be uploaded afterwards, so you can have a look. So I think I will go with the display version in Roman. And then add double spaces, because that's the only thing that annoys me about the display version of Neuhaus Grotesque. Which is that the spaces are super small, which is nice for a tight kind of, you know, text, but for readability it's not great. see how I want to have the hierarchies here. Do I want to align this all to the bottom? Do I want to make this bigger? Let's grab this and try and kind of make it similar to this. Yeah. So roughly like this. But we still want the text to be readable. So we kind of need the letters to still be distinguishable. Maybe we'll move this here to fill that kind of space. Stream quality is atrocious again. So right now we still have a big gap down here. So I like this, but this is definitely still too... That's better. I also feel like this is getting squished. Just skew it a bit. Yeah, that's better. So, typographically, it's pretty good. Still don't like this stuff down here, but I don't see if that there's another way to do this. I suppose we could try to create some kind of triple column and align the things using this, which would mean this has to be smaller. That works fine. Believe this is 30, yeah. Yeah, but then the contrast is kind of weird, so maybe we make this 30 as well. See how that looks. Oh, sorry guys. It's pretty decent, but it's definitely still room for improvement. Sorry for the black screen. I'm going into display mode in Illustrator, and for some reason the stream doesn't pick that up. Have I thought about streaming on Twitch? Yeah, I initially had everything set up for Twitch, but I did a poll on my Instagram and more people watch their streams on YouTube, so I went with what works for the most people. So, I don't know. I'm definitely not pleased with how this is looking. I might try. Ooh. Okay. I do kind of like these floating typography bits. We adjust this. Maybe we put this here. Put this here. Yeah, I would also prefer to stream on Twitch, but you know, I want to make these streams as accessible as possible. And it's also kind of nice to have the ability to directly upload them to YouTube. I know that's possible from Twitch as well, but I feel like it's just cleaner this way. Yeah, quitting all social media. I would love to. I actually hate Instagram so much. Like if I wasn't so heavily invested in Instagram, I wouldn't have it at all. I mean, but I've kind of dug my own grave when it comes to that. So obviously this looks like shit now. Down below. So what if we just put this here? Why so? Ooh, I don't know. It sucks all of the time away that you need for doing things in real life, you know? Your reels mostly, because my feed is pretty nice. I have a bunch of cool designers in my feed, but when it comes to reels, it's just, you know, a waste of time. And if you're not using it for work, then, I mean, what are you doing on Instagram? You're basically just wasting time. And for connecting with friends, I don't know. I prefer real world friends, not online friends, so I basically have no use for it except for work. Starting price for commissions on your page is $1,000. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, my commission rate has gone up. Mainly because right now I want to have as little commissions as possible. And if I'm having a commission, I want it to be a proper one. Hornet GFX. Hey, how's it going? Thanks. Yeah, this is the vector version. I'm currently working on the typography to create the final version here. This is just placeholder right now. So how about we move this all the way down? That's pretty cool. Maybe, I mean, we have it twice on the thing now, right? So move this here. Parth Shined, thank you for joining the stream. I'm glad I can inspire you. It's one of the main reasons I post on social media. Okay, this is okay. It's a bit top heavy. Got a lot of the typographical detail at the top, so brainwave or plain stupidity. Let's find out. Move all of this. Up to the top. And instead put our little details. Hey Damien, I didn't know you were 15. Iman Guts, hi. I probably follow him on Instagram. I just don't recognize his name right now. Let me look him up real quick. No, I actually do not know him. Pretty cool. Yeah, I might have a look at this. So, how about this? Details at the bottom. It's kind of doubling REZTOKIA.com, REZTOKIA TM. So why don't we make this our tagline? Seek creative ecstasy. Yeah, reels are a bit random, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, you have to do your best to try. Basically the best way to get clients is obviously to have social media reach and a good network. And it's obviously much easier if you've worked at a graphic design agency or something like that, where you get a bunch of connections. So that's kind of the stepping stone for most of the designers coming out of university. But for the self-taught ones, it's really hard. Parse shined. You also want to know how to make this angel. The website is called text-image.com. It is. Yeah, hang on. Actually, I can drop it in the chat. I hope that helps. Ricardo Ferru. I believe you asked me what inspires me, and the answer is I don't know, actually. I should probably know what inspires me, but it's hard to say. It's not really one concrete thing. So, right now this layout still sucks very badly. What inspires you? ChatGPT random word generator. Yeah, sure. I don't know, I suppose it's just the fear of not reaching my full potential. Which is such a simple thing. But yeah, it's so effective. You know, like being old and still having the question, what if, in your mind is probably one of my greatest fears. So I'm trying my very best to avoid that. Christopher Nolan? Yeah, he is such an insane director. I'm so hyped for Oppenheimer as well, especially because of Cillian Murphy as well. I'm a huge Peaky Blinders fan, and having Cillian Murphy be the star, the lead actor in a movie by Christopher Nolan is like, it's the best crossover ever. So I'm just playing around with layouts here, seeing if there's something that works. This is always the part that takes the longest, even though it shouldn't. It's the last 20% of a project that sucks so much bloody time. Yeah, but I don't like this. This sucks. Okay. Yeah, and 3 hours long. I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it in the theaters. My pronunciation sometimes still sucks. In the pictures, how about that? Yeah, no problem, Damien. You have my email, or you can just drop them over Instagram. This is right now. This is sucking a lot. Great deal. So let's analyze this from a logical perspective. We have two very large headings, which are the main focal point of this poster, the main information of this poster. Then we have the posters on top, which is the main visual focal point of the poster. And then we have random text details that are supposed to add contrast and visual interest while providing useful information. How do we display all of this in a visually pleasing way that is easy to read, unique for my page, and effective design-wise? So, how do we go about this? I did like having this detail text above this, so I'll put this back. Then we don't want this to be too big. Then I want to probably have this here, so I'll make it a bit bigger. 20 seems like a good size. Then how about making this a 2-column setup? That way we can have a symmetrical split. We'll turn off hyphenation. Just make it a tad bit smaller. Now this fits onto 3 lines. Now we can have a simple heading. Make sure this works hierarchically. Then we want to add some more interest in here. The problem is this is super unbalanced and it doesn't look good, and it doesn't look good. So, oh my goodness. Free worldwide shipping, 100 GSM matte paper. Okay, let's quickly browse my website just to see if there's anything that I can add typographically to have a bit more content. So far, so bad. Epic donut. What if some text was aligned vertically? How do you mean? You mean rotating it? Like this? That's an interesting idea. Might be nice to fill up this space. Has potential. We can even split this up into 2 headings. Like this. Have one be free worldwide shipping, and the other one be 189 GSM premium matte paper. Like this. Now you can offset this, have one here, one down here. Okay, that's cool. It's definitely unique. That still, however, it doesn't solve the problem of what will go in this place. Obviously, like a simple secondary text block would be perfect. The problem is, what can't... Oh! Ha! 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 Oh, I've been stupid. How to make more text out of text? The answer is ChatGPT. Oh. And here it goes. For almost 5 months now, I've dedicated myself to making 1 post a week. This creative endeavor has not only been a fun project, but also a great experience in discipline and self-expression. The process of working on long projects such as designing a website can often become tedious and repetitive. Having a designated day to focus on a completely different medium allows me to tap into different part of my creativity and recharge my artistic batteries. Oh my goodness. This is perfect. Perfect. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see if it matches the length. Yes. Type area. We can make this 2 columns. Okay. Beautiful. Guys, if you're not using ChatGPT in your daily workflow, I would highly recommend it. Just made it a touch longer. When working on long process design, it's common to feel bogged down in the details and experience creative blockages. Creative blockages. However, having a set day to work on completely different projects has enabled me to approach my work from a fresh perspective and unlock new levels of creativity. So before ChatGPT existed, I would have to write all my copy myself. Think of that. Sorry for the lag, guys. The stream has been a bit rough lately. But now that AI has become such a powerful tool, it's like essential that you integrate it into your workflow. Otherwise, you're going to be steamrolled over by the industry. How did I start learning? Where can I sound? In the early days of my account. I mean, when did I start using ChatGPT? Here? Probably. No, I actually used ChatGPT for this one. So before the escape poster, this is stuff copied from Off-White's website. These are definitions from Google. These are quotes from a show. That's lorem ipsum. This doesn't really have text, nor does this. So yeah, I did treat copy very sparingly before I knew ChatGPT existed. But doesn't it feel more immersive writing your own text? Well, technically, I know exactly what I want to write. And I either give ChatGPT a snippet of that and say, make it this and this length so it works with my design. Or I kind of give it like a direct prompt. So I'm technically writing the text I would have written anyway, except that I save a bunch of time. Yeah, and especially for this kind of poster where you have an insane amount of copy. All of the information here is factually true and completely, perfectly relevant for this poster in my account. But had I written this myself, it would have taken me like hours. And this took maybe 20 minutes. And it's literally perfect. Like, I would not have been able to come up with any of this myself. Obviously, I came up with the concept, but finding the etymology and all the Greek and Roman concepts of different philosophers and backing that up, I mean... Oh yeah, Damien. Your posters, hang on. Let's look at this stuff together. Ooh, very cool. Can I copy this? I don't know if there's a better quality version of this. Hang on. Yeah, I don't think I have high quality versions of this. Maybe this, yeah, this is all I have. Well, this is pretty cool. This is the Mishko effect, I believe. Yeah. So if I were to critique this based on this, difficult. So one thing I would suggest, like garbage, group things in groups of 3, with one element being high in contrast, one element being medium in contrast, and one element being low in kind of visual space. I'm explaining this very badly, but let me illustrate this. We have one large thing, which is this nothing. We have a medium thing, which is these kind of small text, and we have some detail. And if we can apply this to the other stuff, for instance, if we were to add some kind of subheading, this text here, like this, maybe make it all caps to match the rest. Maybe make it a bit smaller, medium, right? Maybe like this. Maybe make the same brightness as this text here. We also add visual interest. Again. Maybe make the opacity a bit lower here. Kind of fades in. So this is just roughly what I would do to make this poster just a tad bit better. Because visual interest is commonly achieved by adding a lot of contrast. So you have, like I already said, groups of 3, one large thing, one medium thing, one small thing. And yeah, so I would add some details, maybe a subhead, a heading here. And then color-wise, you have kind of a gray color scheme going on with gray background, white text, gray text, beige text, and then a lot of color. So I would maybe restrict the color palette to some kind of two-tone color. So if you add something like this on top, it kind of removes the color. So let's say we want to have this, for instance. So you still have the gray, but the white and the gray get the tone, the hue of the main color in the image. And we are reduced to one color. So now you kind of have a two-tone design, which is a lot more cohesive and a lot more pretty to look at. And then I would probably, to add a bit more color to the background, add just a very subtle hue of the pink to the background as well. So something like this. Now we have this weird pink rim. Hang on, let me try and fix that. All right. So this would be my 3-minute redesign. Obviously, I don't want to destroy your poster, so, you know, do whatever you like with this. You can hate it if you want. Yeah, that would be my 3-minute adjustment. Now, back to this. Thank you, Epic Donut, for the vertical type suggestion. I will definitely use this. We now have the long version of the text by ChatGPT. And you kind of have the lettering there. You have this nice rounded rim, which I like. To me, there's just a little bit too much going on here. For one, we have chrome elements. Then we have dark green. We have this bright beige. Then we have the gray sky, and then we have the gray text on top of that. So the first thing I would probably do is make the text. See if I can't really quickly match this. This. Let's try and match that roughly. Get a similar text block going. I would make this text the same color as the main solitude heading, simply because it has more contrast compared to the gray text in the background. Obviously it won't look too good now because you have the gray text there still. Then I would maybe play around with the colors again, because right now we have this gray beige in the background and we have the green. The beige of the text fits pretty well with the background, but then you have this chrome hand, which is a cool element, but I would maybe adjust the colors and the highlights to maybe have a kind of beige warm hue on the top coming from the sky, and then a green, dark green hue on the bottom. Very subtly as well. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just to make this be slightly more homogeneous. You spent 3 hours making the hand? Is it a 3D model, Blender, or how did you make it? Yeah, so I would, like I said, I would try to make the text more even so that they are the same color, and then try to apply the colors from the background to the hand element as well. Yep, so now we can finally, it's a 3D model. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, good job, man. Great stuff. So now that we have our text, we have to make sure it's all on here. It's gonna be rough. Set this to auto for now. Yeah, see you next time, Damien. Thanks for checking in. So I want to adjust this text to fit perfectly. Right now, I'm having a bit of trouble here. Because it always switches to a 4. I don't want it to be 4. Oh. Perfect. There we go. Now we have some detailed text. We have a medium heading, we have a large heading. We have some small details around here to add visual interest and fill the negative space. We have another massive heading and some more details up at the top. I might play around with the positioning of these though. And I might also bring back the arrow element here to fill the negative space there. So let's adjust this. Yep. That does look good. I think we're almost done here. I have an idea about splitting up this heading to make this a bit more symmetrical. I don't know if you've already been asked this, but how was the visual highlight made? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Which visual highlight? Oh, you meant the rolled up posters. Oh, sorry, I called it visual highlight, didn't I? I'm sorry. I used this image right here, which, yeah, is an image of my poster samples I purchased from my shop. And then I cut that out using a vector mask, and I've overlaid this with a shadow in Photoshop, which I'll be using for the final poster. But yeah, it's a cutout image, nothing. One poster a week makes you a geek. Yeah, I think we're almost done here. Free worldwide shipping. Yeah, secret. I think we're very, very close. As a matter of fact, I think we are done with the typography. So let's import this without the guides, and we'll place it right up top. Beautiful. I actually want to import this as separate layers, starting off one with the detail typography, and next we'll only do the logo. Yeah, the REZTOKIA logo. Hard to say where I would put it. I think I'll just roll with this design for now. Yep, that's perfect. So now I have the large typography and the detail typography on different layers, so I can individually modify them and adjust the contrast. For now, I want to nail down the color of this, so I'll go to my 404 page, take a big old screenshot, my website, go to Photoshop, paste the screenshot above my background, scale it up to a huge size, and set its blend mode to color. So that'll just adjust the, the background to be the exact color. My website, let's make a quick check. Yep, that matches perfectly. Now, the typography on my website is all this color here, which I will copy the hex code, add a solid color, make the same there, group my typography, add a clipping mask, and we're almost done. Now I will just add some very simple texturing by selecting the individual smart objects. We'll start with a large text. Go and add an outer glow, which will make the same color as the text. Play around with noise, size, and spread values till we have this super nice effect. Just some subtle. And at this point, actually, I'll grab my image size. Although, yeah, I'll never sell this poster, so I will not have to tweak the image size. Now, another thing we'll add is some inner glow. Make that the same hex code as well. Add the opacity, and now we'll change the fill value just a bit. And now we can actually play around with this here. So we get kind of a feather. To the inside. You can play around with the fill and adjust how harsh that is. Beautiful. Now to add just a touch more texture, I'm going to go into Filter, Distort, Displace. Select a small value like 3. And select my most subtle displacement map. Add a tiny displacement. Reposition the text. And there we go. Now we have a very subtle but effective texture on our large scale typography. Now I will copy this effect and texture to my typography, and you'll immediately see it's completely destroyed, unreadable. That is because it is much smaller, so I'll set these values to 1 for the displacement. Make that much less. Oh, that was the wrong one. Here we go, this one. And we'll also adjust the outer glow. Mainly making the range bigger, the size smaller. What does a displacement map do? Basically, a displacement map is just a PSD with an image inside of it. In this case, it's just a black and white grain image. And now, depending on the lightness of the individual pixels in the displacement map, Photoshop will take the pixels in the smart object you're adding the displacement to and displace them by the value you specify beforehand. And because this is a PNG, it basically takes the edges and randomly kind of distorts them and adds and kind of displaces them, so to speak, depending on what is in the displacement map. So it adds kind of a rough texture to the outside. So how about this? Yep, that's nice and subtle. Makes that a lot more heavy. Beautiful. We're almost done here. I kind of want to make it just a tiny bit more yellow. So I'll just toggle this to be 90%. Now, Control Shift Alt E. We'll add one last layer on top of everything. Convert it to a smart object. and add a camera filter. And why am I doing this? The answer is just to make everything just a tiny bit more homogeneous. By adding just a bit of grain, just a bit of texture. And I'm also going to add the most subtle warm hue, like super subtle. Yeah, the final homogenization. Slightly take down the contrast as well, and maybe just make it like the tiniest amount darker. We'll hit OK, and yeah, this is the final result. We're done, guys. Hello, Jasper. Welcome to the chat. You just missed the stream. We're basically done. I just added the final textures and the final camera raw filter. And yeah, this is the poster that will go live tomorrow morning, probably, which means my shop will go live tomorrow morning. So yeah, if you guys want to buy one of my posters, head to REZTOKIA.com/shop posters. And you will find an epic poster shop. I even have a filter called Designer's Pick, which seems to be broken. So that's definitely something I'll have to fix. Haha, you blinded me with your good looks. Yeah. So, do you guys want to join me in some live web development? Seeing as I have to fix my filters. And I have nothing better to do, let's jump right in. Wow, it's loading slowly. Great, so the filters are actually broken because I changed. Might have been in the global code as well. So the easiest fix is removing this. I mean, sure, it's spelled wrong, but who cares? It's just an apostrophe. But now the filters should at least function. So we're live. We're live, and voila! Now you have a button that selects the posters I like the most, which are these 6. Hey, Ralph11, thank you. So this is... Yeah, so... Here they are. So I guess my man is no longer in the chat, so we can't look at his posters. So at this point, I might actually save off these projects. and call it a day. Call it a day. Today is the 28th. This is going live the 28th, 2023. Oh, there he is. Okay. I can now look at your poster, yes. Let me just save what I have so far. And we'll also export this as a PNG. Leonardo Guerro. We are just wrapping it up here, so you just missed the stream. I'm sorry, but it will be on my YouTube once we're done. Sorry if I butchered your name, by the way. So, let's look at Parth's posters. You said you sent them through my Instagram, is that right? Because right now I'm still not seeing them here. Oh, maybe now. Yes, here they are. Okay. Damn. I'll start with the one I like most. Probably is not going to be a lot to do here. Yeah, the quality is not good. Well, mate, I can. Yeah, I love it. This is my taste. Two colors, nice and beige. Got some nice detail going on, nice contrast, large text, nice image, simple layout. I mean, yeah, nothing to critique there. It's a great poster. Let's look at some of the other ones. So it's very hard to see, obviously, because the quality is so low. So yeah, I can't really say much. But I think this is a fingerprint. And in that case, looks pretty cool. I'm not a massive fan of the font, but then again, I have no clue what the context here is, so I can't really judge how effective the font is. So I'd say, yeah, well done, man. Good stuff. When it comes to something like this, you have so much going on. The background has this super intense texture. Then you have the character that's got this texture. And then you have this super blingy chrome type. It looks like serotonin, some kind of parental advertisement, some kind of album cover poster or something like this. So then again, I don't know the music, so I can't judge this, but I would say just tone it down a little. I mean, remove something, maybe remove the background, remove the chrome effect, maybe make the parental advisory and the main heading have the same style, so both of them white or both of them chrome. And yeah, I would say maybe remove one of the colors as well, because right now you've got this purple in here as well, which you kind of have nowhere else in the poster. So I'd stick to a kind of a tritone color palette, maybe orange, black, and then white or gray. And yeah, other than that, I can't say much, but it looks great. Outcast, embrace individuality and challenge society. Yeah, this is great too. For me, it's almost impossible to distinguish what this heat map in the background is supposed to be. And when it comes to you're making a cake? That's cool. Yeah, I'd probably be doing something because I don't know, just watching the stream I think would be pretty boring. With this, like I've said before, some kind of small, super small contrast element. Maybe some kind of body, something maybe like a text block down here, just to have that kind of 3 different levels of hierarchy, which always adds a bunch of visual interest. You can kind of have that. So maybe I would add just a tiny bit of text there. And to frame the poster, I always like take this stuff with a grain of salt. I mean, where am I to criticize anybody's design work as a novice myself? So do as you please. Yeah, I would add maybe just some detail text there and there to frame the poster and set the margins. Oh god. Oh goodness. My Illustrator's frozen. Great. Amazing stuff. I love it. In fact, my entire PC is frozen. Isn't that fantastic? Well guys, in case I have to restart, I'm glad you all joined my stream. It was amazing. And I got stuff done, which is always a pleasant side product of doing these streams. So it was my pleasure designing with you guys and spending these 3 hours here. With that said, I will probably have to restart my computer now because Illustrator does not like me repositioning 2 text blocks. Have a great day. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay.